rehearsal, got me ducking off, yeah, ducking off. You so fucking raw, damn. Now we fucking raw, drop my fucking jaw.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be customizing this brand new wig that I received from AF Sister. It is a 24-inch wig straight with 150% density. The details of this wig and the link will be listed in my description box below. But other than that, please continue to watch this video and I can share with you how I customized this brand new wig. So one thing that you will need is any type of pen. As you can see, I'm using thumbtacks because I did not have any T-pens. And what you want to do is make sure that you are putting the T-pen or thumbtack, whatever that you are using, into your mannequin head well before the hairline. So as you can see, I put it right in front of the hairline. You do not want it to get too close to the hairline because you do not want to cause any holes. So these pens will create small holes that over time they can create bigger holes. So you know, as you're installing wigs and removing them, adding the glue, holes will naturally occur. So that's why I'm making sure that I am not putting the pens close to the hairline. So here's what I use to customize this wig. First, I have the Got To Be Freeze spray, 40 developer, or you can use 30. In this video, I did use 40 developer just because it is stronger. 30 developer in the hair store that was closest to me is $1.99. I got mine for I think $2.99 or $3.99. The powder that I use is the BW2 powder, along with a bowl, a brush for the smooth application process. You will also need a tweezer that is sharp, and the toothbrush is optional, and any type of conditioner or shampoo to wash out the bleach afterwards. So now we are about to start the mixture. One thing that I would note is that you do not have to start off with too many scoops because it will spread. So I did 3 scoops, which was too much. I would suggest starting off with just 3 or 2 scoops of the powder and then adding in the developer as you go. So now as you can see, I am starting to add in my developer. What you are looking for is a consistency that is similar to toothpaste. You don't want it to be too runny and you don't want it to be too thick. It needs to be just like a thick mixture, as you will see as I add in the developer, and at the end you will see what to look for when you are creating your own bleach mixture. I do want to emphasize that the powder itself is very fine, so you need to be careful if you have sensitive skin because it does spread and it does fly and it's very strong. So if you are somebody who is sensitive to these type of products and the smells, you might want to wear a mask or you might want to wear gloves because it will jump and fly over you. But as you can see, this is the consistency that you are looking for. It looks really good. It's not too runny and it's not too thick. It is great. So here we go. We are going to spray the wig down with the freeze spray because this protects the hair underneath the lace. You want to make sure you get all of the lace. You don't have to do too much, but after you feel like, enough is enough, you're going to let that sit for 5 minutes before you put on the slurry mixture. So when you're new and doing this, I really want you to pay attention to how I'm using the brush. I'm not flattening the brush. I'm not making it flat whatsoever. I'm using the tip of the brush and I'm putting on the powder, or not the powder, the bleach onto the lace itself. So, and I also want you to know that it is okay to go over the hairline. So I'm not just getting the hairline in back. I'm getting just above the hairline. And you can see in a few seconds I'll turn it to where you can see that it's well over the hairline, because you'll rather have it over the hairline than not on the hairline at all. So this is a great example of what I'm talking about. I'm getting closer to the edge of the lace just to make sure that I'm fully covering every part of the wig, because you do not want to have any parts missing, because it will definitely show. Some parts will be lighter or darker than the rest. I also want you to know that it is super important to make sure that it is flat all over. So you can see that I didn't leave any type of like more parts, has more of the mixture over it. You really want to make sure that it's all level, and do not smash the slurry into the wig. I really need you to know that. Do not like be heavy-handed, because it will go through the hair, and you do not want your hair turning any colors. You just want the roots. So after I let it sit for 5 minutes, this is for the developers, so I did not want it to go too long. So that's something that you need to pay attention to as well. When you have the 30 developers or the 20s, 10s, you can let it sit for longer, but 40 developers should not sit on your wigs for too long. So you really want to pay attention to a timer or whatever, you know, time that you have started it. So here I've already washed out the hair. I did not put anything in it as of right now. I just simply rinsed all the product out, and now you can see the difference in how the knots have changed colors. This is what you want. You can also see the tint, so it's a brown tint that looks more natural than having your knots not bleached, and that's what you want when you are bleaching your knots. Here is when I start to use the product that I have. You can use anything. It can be shampoo, it can be conditioner. All I'm using this for is to make sure that I'm getting all of that product, the bleach, off of the lace and the hair, the roots. If you want to, you can do a full wash on your wig. That's really up to you and your preference. I just wanted to use this. Really, this is all of that I had. I didn't want to use my other hair products because it's for relaxed hair, and I didn't want it to damage the wig. So it's really your preference on what you want to use. Just something that will get the remaining, you know, product out of the lace. Y'all, it was looking so good. I almost was like tempted to not even pluck it, but that's only because it's wet and it looks like phenomenal. But we're gonna still pluck it, so stay tuned. I'll be plucking it in a minute. Use a new bag to go over my mannequin head because I did not want any products from the last bag to stay on the wig or get back in the lace. So please, if you are somebody who uses bags like me, use a new bag, or if you like to use towels, use that. All right, y'all, let's get into the fun part. Now, what you're gonna need when you start plucking in this process is a spray bottle, as you can see, tweezers, sharp tweezers, and a rat tail comb, and you can also use a brush. So I started by spraying the water and showing you guys the hairline. You can kind of see the first, this is great, you can see the first, you know, few rows of the hair is very thin and it looks like it's already been plucked. That's great. So you want to part that first section of the hair where it looks like, okay, I don't want to like pluck too much of that because it looks good. Start by parting that hair and separating it from the rest of the hair. And as I continue with this video, I'm going to show you the differences and how to spot that you need to pluck your hair, because some of the hair might be darker than the rest of the hair where you can see through. If it's see-through, then that means that, okay, you might not want to pluck too much because you'll be over plucking. So when you're using your tweezers, please use the flat part as I'm showing you here. That is how you are going to successfully pluck your hair. Use the flat part, and it should be facing the flat part should be touching the lace of the wig. So try not to pluck too hard, but what you are doing is simply opening and closing that tweezer and pulling the hair out. Now, one thing that is super important when you are plucking the wig is that you do not stay in one spot. So as you can see what I'm doing, I'm not staying in one spot when I'm plucking. I'm moving all over the wig. If you pluck and you stay in one spot, you are 9 times out of 10 going to have a higher chance of your hair balding in that one area because you are just tugging and pulling at the same spot. I'm seeing how I like it, what I needed to do differently, if I needed to pluck the hairline over, and I think I decided to go ahead and do that. So as you can see, I'm starting to pluck the front of the hairline without the baby hairs being pulled down, and just adding more details. So here after I spread it, you can see how you cannot see through this part of the hair. So that's telling me that, okay, I would like to pluck a little bit so that could be natural as well. So I'm separating the baby hairs and I'm starting to pluck right behind the baby hairs. So that way it can look more natural and so I can get a more natural hairline. So I'm plucking it just so it can be a little more thin for the baby hairs when I brush it all back together. And this is what I liked. I like how you could see through the hair. It looked way better than that all dark. That's the part that I was talking about. You don't want it to look dark. You want it to look see-through. If it's dark on the fronts of your hairline, then you might want to pluck a little bit more so it can look natural. So once you feel comfortable enough to pluck the rest of your hair, go ahead and do that. One thing that I will suggest is starting in small sections of your hairline. If you are not comfortable with plucking a full section, maybe from the top of your hair down to your ear, do not do that. Maybe just work on a small part of your hairline just to see how well you can do it. But if you feel confident in doing the rest of your hairline, go ahead. So here is where I begin to show you all how I am using the tweezers. So I'm doing the small tug and pull on the flat part of the tweezers. You do not want to use the tips, the sharp pointy tip of the tweezer, because you will pull out too much hair. The flat part does a great job with pulling multiple strands of hair very quickly, but not all together like pointing or using the pointy side of the tweezers. So always remember when you are plucking to not stay in one spot. You do not want to do that. Make sure you are moving your tweezers all around the parts of your hair, the section, the hairline, whatever. But just remember to not keep the tweezers in one spot because it will create a balding or overplucked hair. So at this point, I think I did a good job with plucking the hair to a natural standard. It's not over plucked, but as I continued, I just added more details in certain spots of the wig. Like I said, I know a lot of people are into the over plucking look because it looks super natural. I'm not there yet, so I'm still learning as I'm going. I'm not a pro, but I definitely just try to add details to the wig, because you will rather have not enough hair plucked than having too much hair plucked, because that is something that you can't get back. So at least over time you can continue to pluck your hair as you have it, and that's why I tend to only pluck what I'm comfortable with plucking. So one of the last things that I did was I added this super good smelling argan oil. I think it's from OGX. If you know, you know. But I treated this as a heat protectant serum, and I just allowed my hair to air dry it and not blow it out. But I also use this, like I mentioned, to protect it from the heat when I do iron it out. I ended up installing it the next day. But other than that, if you're a beginner, please do not feel stressed. This is super easy once you get comfortable with doing it. Do not let the developer timing scare you, the tweezers, the plucking, because there's always a hack to customizing your wigs if you mess up. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave any questions that you have in the chat box below or the comment section below. And I hope that you guys like this video. Bye!
My God, that's the end of the story.